I am a complete beginner, and in this video I will walk you through how I created my own bump keys for master locks, as well as my attempt at trying to get into a Defiant deadbolt, which I was unsuccessful. Overall, this was very easy to do, but it really depends on tolerances and accuracies in the locks, and then also your ability to do this. At the end of the day, I'd recommend just buying your own bump key sets, as it'll save you pain and suffering.
As I've been learning, I've been seeing bump keys, and I've got all these old keys that are just sitting in drawers, right? So looked on Thingiverse and found I could 3D print stuff. So when I built the keys or cut the keys for my truck, using the Lishi Cutter, I also saw that they had standard house set kind of templates provided by it was JonLockPicking or JonLock on Thingiverse and YouTube. Link will be in the description for his channel and for the files of Thingiverse. And so I figure I'll try it out. I've got these quick set keys. I've got a Defiant deadbolt and a vise that I'll try out once I try to cut this. So I have no other bump keys. I've never used them before, and I figured let me 3D print what I can. So I found another person designed and had this on Thingiverse, and so printed the handle itself, PLA, and then there was a removable head in case you damage it. I printed this out of TPU, so it's a little bit softer. So hopefully that'll work. Printed the KW1, cuts, and this is the number 7, so I think the lowest cut. And so the idea is I'm gonna line it up on the key and cut each one with the Lishi Cutter. And I also, out of TPU, I just designed these up in Tinkercad, and since I don't have any of the bump key rings, but this might be too stiff to actually work. As I looked at all the other videos, it needs some sort of bounce back. But I don't know if you can see, it's just a hollow donut basically out of TPU. And so the idea, once I cut the key, it'll fit on there, and there's a little bit of flex, so we'll try it out. I've never done this. I haven't tried any of this yet. And this was the quick set, and I've already kind of printed out an American Lishi guide and a Schlag one as well, and so I figure I'm gonna do this live and see if I can do it. So grab the Lishi Cutter out of the toolbox here. So if you haven't seen a Lishi Cutter before, it does have guides and depths, on here. So if you had good eyesight, you could probably make out the actual depths, and so you put the key in, you get to the right depth and chomp chomp chomp. So you just have to line it up with the actual position on the key to be able to do it. But that's where these guides come into play, and they're already they're spaced out in the correct spacing. And so so let's just try this out. So you can see there's a little groove to try to fit the key on correctly, and so you can kind of see right there, fits in there nice and snug. And so you can see right now I've got ways to go to cut this down, but and part of the challenge with doing this is trying to clamp it into place correctly. So let me see if I have something to clamp it outside of a vise. You could probably, I guess I'll go a little bit slower. hold it in place. So I'm just going to randomly start in the middle then. So pushed all the way up to the guard. One. So that's a very deep cut. Maybe that went too far. But we'll figure it out. Let's just try it. It's the worst that happens. This is a spare key anyways. Or an old key, not even a spare key. Sure it's still lined up. I don't know about this first one, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Probably need to trim that one. Just make sure we're lined up still. Yeah, it's looking good. Just switch hands here. This last one. Alright, so you can see that through there. It's lined up, and then boom. Alright, so there's all of them. Fairly level. I think this one actually looks a little bit higher than the rest. And then I think what I need to do is trim down right here as well. So if we line this up again. Alright, you can see it's probably a good guide to try to get it cut all the way back. So I'm just gonna use this. Probably gonna end up chomping a little bit. I guess maybe try not to break that last one. But yeah, maybe clean up this little corner just a little bit. So yeah, it definitely does look like it's smaller to bigger. Maybe I was holding it at an angle while I was doing it, but I don't know. Let's see it. So I'm not gonna file it. I've never bumped a key before, so I don't know how this is all gonna work, but let's get enough angle. So this is the actual key. You can see turns it working normally. So take the bump key here, slide it on. So I think it, maybe, see if we can have a better view there. So you can see it doesn't, I'll grab a tension wrench here. Hit my fingers. too light. I think this hammer's way too light. I think it needs more weight. It's not really bouncing back either at this ring. Maybe the ring needs to be smaller. I mean, you can kind of see it does squish in. It's not really doing that. I printed some other rings that are definitely better. Have infill, and they don't really squish. So let's try this again. Maybe I'll grab a different. All right, well, I'm gonna try a different lock, different cut. See, maybe that padlock or the deadbolt is just not cooperating. So an easy lock, master lock number 3. So let's see if we can create bump key out of this. I think this is the right one. Oh, I got it. Oh, holy shit. The Brinks lock has been defeated. Oh, dude, that's so funny. Well, obviously, tolerances are shit on this bump key I made. Oh, I got it again. Look at that. Dude, that's cool. Alright. So now, since I've got a 5-pin Brinks, which is, I guess, the next level up for master lock, so 5-pin as well. So I'm gonna try to cut this one. And I think it probably still would work on the 4-pin. But I don't know. Figure that out. Maybe I'll get a redemption on opening all the other ones as well. So I'm just gonna do the same process here. But let's see on this 4-pin. See if the 4-pin works too. Hey, that worked perfectly actually. Oh, having that extra the pin actually helps. Wow. Look at that. The key I made for the 5-pin works better on the 4-pin locks, so that's cool.